Next up, we have another news and views. This is S-scale modeling, and this is by Jamie Bothwell. He's helps us with our as part of the staff of the show. His segment is on converting heavyweight Pullman cars, and I think you'll find this interesting. It's basically kit bashing. So, Jamie, if you will.
So yeah, this is this isn't anything really new. I saw this in Mainline Modeler years ago, and I also saw it in Model Railroader. Ran a couple articles on it about maybe 20 years ago. There was a time when the HO folks could only get basically one Pullman car in plastic, so they had to cut all these things up. But the HO market has expanded quite a bit. But the S scale market, we were blessed with two very nice Pullmans. We have a 10-1-2 and a 12-1. Little history of Pullman cars, if you don't know that. A 12-1 means it's a 12 section, one drawing room car. The section is your classic Three Stooges. They're all sleeping in the upper berth. They got a curtain between the hallway. A compartment is a space that would hold generally two people, and a drawing room would hold up to three people. And, so various assorted. Those are the older time accommodations. The newer accommodations, they went to roomettes and single bedrooms and things like that. But we'll talk about that at another time. Let me just share my screen here, get my program up. Okay, there we go. And if I tell it to see a slideshow, that should be it. Let me just shut off you guys so I can see what's going on here. Okay, so, whoops, it's not, why am I not going forward here? Okay, all right, so I'll just scroll and do it that way. All right, converting heavyweight Pullmans to get the floor plans that you want. All right, so best thing to do, start with a plan. I have these 3 volumes from Carson's Publications. They're all sorts of passenger cars. This is volume 1, obviously, and it covers wood cars and heavyweight steel cars. Here's the Pullman plan for a 12 section, 12 section, one drawing room sleeper. It's a plan 3410. 3410s are the later 12-1s. The earlier 12-1s were 2410s. This one does not have a subclass. There were a number of subclasses. I forget exactly where they went out to, but I know they had several subclasses. The 12-1 sleeper was Pullman's most popular heavyweight model. There were about 8,000 heavyweight Pullman cars, and about 4,000 of them were 12-1s. So here's the drawing. So basically what you're looking at is when you look at the sections, that's that bank of windows in the middle. There's paired windows. So like here, 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 those are all the sections. This is a bathroom down here. And then over on the right side of this drawing would be a hallway. Okay. So if we go there, there's your American Models 12-1 Pullman. Now, these are available for American Models. They still have a few left in stock, but they're also available on the used market. I saw a couple of these on eBay just the other day for a pretty reasonable price. I think I don't remember. I didn't look that hard because I got a bunch of them, but I don't know if it was a bid or a buy now, but uh, around $50 for a pair of them. But then there was $20 shipping. So, $70 for a pair of these is quite reasonable, about half price of what they sell for. So, anyway, so you can see that one matches up pretty well. If you look at those drawings compared to that car, those all match up pretty well. Now, Pullman made all kinds of other floor plans, and if you look here, I'm sorry, here's the room side of a 12-1. Now, if you'll notice, there's what appears to be a lot more windows here. Now you still have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 section windows. Now, again, it's a 12 section Pullman because there's a section on either side of the aisleway which ran down the middle of the car. And a section would be an upper and a lower. So in 12 sections, normally you would be able to sleep 24 people because each section has an upper and a lower. And the reason that there are 6 sets of section windows is because each section has a pair of those windows. The general plan was that if you paid for the upper section, that was less money. But then you had a ride facing, you had the seat that faced backwards. And if you paid for the lower section, then you got the seat that faced forward. Also on this car, I would like to point out, this is your stock American Models underbody. This is supposed to represent the APWS tank, which is the water. And this is supposed to be an air tank of some sort. The air tank's not too bad. The APWS tank is terrible. So, okay, so here is your 8-section, 1 drawing room, 2 compartment plan. This is a 3979A, as you can see. Now you'll notice 1, 2, 3, 4 section windows and 1, 2, 3, 4 hallway windows. So it has a shorter, the shorter area with the hallway down the middle where the sections are, and a longer section where the hallway is off to one side. Again, thinking of the 12-1 of the other side that I showed you, there would be more windows on the other side. On the other side of this hallway would be where you'd have the room accommodation. So like the drawing room and the compartments would be over there. And probably a bathroom down on this end. This down here is a bathroom on that end. So, all right. So here is the aisle. Wait, I skipped over something. Okay. Thought I had these organized. All right. So there's the aisle side of a 12-1, or sorry, 812 Pullman. All right. So that's what I make. That's what we're going to make here tonight. All right. So now I just wanted to throw this one in here quick because what you've got here is this shows the idea that Pullman used these section windows as sort of a standard construction. So, you know, this car happened to be on the top of the 812 drawing, and I just took a picture of it and added it in. But you see, this is effectively a section window, and this is effectively a section window. Whether this car had sections or not, they still use that same sort of thing. And then you see some single windows like they had in the hallway. So Pullman kind of kit bashed these cars up, you know, using standardized parts. They would put them together to make whatever floor plan they had. Also, a lot of cars were rebuilt, and so they were rebuilt, like the 12 ones, they started rebuilding a lot of those. And what they would do is whatever they wanted from one end of the car, like let's say they wanted to build a 6-section car, they would just start at the one end and keep the first 6 sections and then rebuild the other end of the car. Okay, so here is a quick comparison of the standard American models, the out-of-the-box American models car at the top, and my modification and down below. Okay, so let's just count these sections, right? So there's 1 section, 2 sections, 3 sections, 4 sections, 5 sections, 6 sections. Note that the 812 only has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it has 4, whereas this car has 2 hallway windows or aisleway windows. The 812 has 4 aisleway windows. So what I did was I got myself a scrap body, a sacrifice body. I cut out all the windows and I filed them very carefully so I could reuse them. So I cut them out too big and I filed them down to size. And then I cut out the holes in the car and I cut them too small and I sanded them up to size so that they would fit in. And so that was what I did. So here's the piece. This is the piece that was cut out of the sacrifice body, and it's going to go in this hole in the car right here. And there you can see it back in place. And if you look real close, you can see a little bit of white right there, which says that I've got a little patching to do. So got a little bit too zealous with the razor saw. I put a piece of white paper in here so that the windows would show up a little better. So that's what you're looking at there. Okay, so here is that underside of the car where I cut away that bad APWS tank. All right, and there I cut off that air tank that was there too. And I'm going to replace those details with some better details that are available on the market, the S-scale market. But I will we'll save that for another episode. So these step ends were added. I cut these on the laser. And I made a bunch of them, and so then I add them to the American Model steps to make them look a little better. But again, we'll cover that a little bit more in a future episode. So moving along, in the not too distant future, I'll show you the other side of the car, which is the room side, and I will also show you what I've done to jazz up the underframe. Those will be some other segments that I'll present in a later month. So thank you. Let's see. I'm not seeing my stop the share button come up. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Really interesting, Jamie. And I assume this isn't your first rodeo, as we say in Indiana. You've done this multiple times in the past.
What do you mean by that? Like the cutting
And
up the cars?
yeah, you've did this before, I would assume, or is this the first time?
That's really kind of the first time I've done it. I did get I recently purchased a really, really fine razor saw, and I'm kind of hoping that maybe the next ones I can just cut out the windows and just reposition them, and they'll still be enough, left of them that I won't have to sacrifice the body. So that's my next hope. So
You said you laser cut, those were laser cut plastic. Is that what you were doing?
no, the little end pieces on the steps.
Yeah, were they laser? You
Yeah,
said
they were cut with a laser, yes.
that was plastic,
Yeah,
styrene.
laser cut styrene. So,
And do you have a when you fill when you're cutting out windows and you're putting in styrene, you're going to use a plastic filler. Do you have one that's a preference? I guess you'll cover that in a later
yeah,
video.
I've been using I guess it's the squadron putty.
Yeah, the military one. That's my.
Yeah, so that's just what I've been using. I guess Tamiya might have a putty out. I haven't really experienced that one, so
I have six of them at least, maybe seven. But
so
Squadron seems to be the best, I think.
yeah, I went to the hobby shop and I said I need some putty, and they said this is what we've got. So
Yeah.
I have used it in the past. I've done years and years and years ago. I dabbled in military modeling, and that's what I use. So
Will you be airbrushing this when you're all done?
yes, it will be airbrushed. I lean toward the Pensy, so it'll probably get airbrushed Tuscan red, but I might do it up in Pullman green. So
That will be fascinating to see how you finish it with the Squadron, how you sand it, how you prime it, how you paint it. That'll make for a very interesting segment.
well, the hope is to not have to do very much of that. So there's rivets on those pieces, and the whole goal is to leave the rivets where they are and not have to sand them off or anything. So, yeah, I might try to like scrunch it together, but we'll see how it goes.
Thank you for presenting this evening. It's appreciated.
No worries. I had a good time. So, like I said, that'll be a continuing saga. Maybe not next month, but we'll see what we can figure out. So,
This segment was sponsored by the National Association of S Gaugers.